Well, Prime Minister Keir Starmer is facing quite the local revolt that could have far-reaching implications for his leadership and the future of the Labour Party.
Keir Starmer's government is crumbling from within as Labour MPs stage what could be the most devastating rebellion of his premiership. We're talking about a £5 billion benefit slash that's tearing the party apart at the seams, and if you want to stay ahead of the political chaos that's about to reshape British politics, hit that subscribe button now because this story is moving fast and you won't want to miss what happens next. Vicky Foxcroft just delivered a political earthquake with her resignation as Lord Commissioner of the Treasury, and her 535-word resignation letter reads like a manifesto of defiance against her own Prime Minister. The Lewisham North MP didn't mince words when she told Starmer she simply cannot and will not vote to strip money from disabled people's pockets. This isn't just another political resignation, this is a moral stand that's sending shockwaves through Westminster and exposing the deep fractures running through Labour's ranks. But Foxcroft isn't alone in this political rebellion. She's joining an exodus that includes former Transport Secretary Louise Haigh, ex-City Minister Tulik Siddiq, and former International Development Minister Annalise Dodds. When senior ministers start walking away from their careers over a single policy, you know something fundamental has broken down in the machinery of government. These aren't backbench troublemakers, these are people who were at the heart of Starmer's operation, and they're saying enough is enough. The numbers tell a brutal story. Starmer wants to cut £5 billion from Britain's benefits bill, targeting 1.2 million disabled people, while the overall welfare spending is set to explode by £8 billion by 2030. The mathematics of this policy don't just look callous, they look politically suicidal. Personal independence payments and the health element of universal credit are in the firing line, and Labour MPs are watching their party abandon the very people they promised to protect. Foxcroft's resignation letter cuts straight to the heart of the matter. She writes about wrestling with whether to stay and fight from within or walk away on principle, and her conclusion is devastating for Starmer. She's essentially saying the Prime Minister has become so deaf to dissent that fighting from inside the tent is pointless. When a government whip says she cannot whip votes for her own government's policy, that's not just rebellion, that's institutional collapse. The government's response reveals just how desperate the situation has become. Number 10 is now warning wavering Labour MPs that voting against Starmer would put them on the same side as Nigel Farage, a move that reeks of panic rather than political strategy. When your main argument for supporting a policy is that the opposition also opposes it, you've already lost the moral argument. Government whips are working overtime to prevent what could be a humiliating defeat, but the signs suggest they're fighting a losing battle. Work and Pension Secretary Liz Kendall tried to dress up these cuts as compassionate reform, talking about a new social contract and putting welfare spending on a sustainable path. But her words ring hollow when at least 42 Labour MPs have already publicly declared they won't support her bill. Even more damaging, sources suggest up to 170 Labour MPs have signed private letters expressing serious concerns about these changes. That's not dissent, that's a full-scale revolt brewing in the ranks. Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner's refusal to rule out punishment for rebel MPs shows just how high the stakes have become. Starmer has previous form here, having stripped the whip from 7 Labour MPs who defied him over the 2-child benefit cap, with John McDonnell still in political exile. The message is clear: toe the line or face career destruction. But here's where it gets really interesting. The rebels aren't backing down. They're demanding full impact assessments and changes to eligibility requirements, essentially asking Starmer to admit his policy is flawed. This isn't just about benefits cuts anymore, it's about whether Starmer can maintain control of his own party when the chips are down. This political drama is far from over, and the fallout could reshape British politics for years to come. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell, because when this powder keg explodes, you'll want to be the first to know exactly what it means for Starmer, Labour, and the future of British politics.